garden party.
It was more than your average garden party. In addition to the great food, good company, entertainment, and giveaways, it was all in the name of a good cause.
SoCal Harvest is a backyard fruit and produce harvesting organization.
If you have a fruit tree that's producing more than you could ever use, and you don't have the means to pick it yourself, SoCal Harvest will do it for you.
Everything that we pick goes to food finders in Signal Hill, and then food finders disseminates it out into food pantries within Long Beach to feed those that are in need in our community.
Cindy Goss, director of SoCal Harvest, points out the myriad ways they can be contacted.
We've created these handy-dandy little postcards that people can drop in the mail, and we will flyer neighborhoods that are fruitful. So we can see a big orange tree in the backyard, we can see a big avocado tree or whatever type of fruit tree, and we'll walk around the neighborhood and leave the postcards on the front porch for the homeowners to find. The food bank gets calls constantly. I have oranges, I cannot pick them, I'm 75 years old, is there somebody that can come get these oranges? And they have them call us. We do tabling at health fairs and local environmentally conscious events, and anything that has to do with poverty or hunger, and through our website and through Facebook. And tweeting, we tweet now.
Each step, up to and including the harvest, comes with a checklist of actions to ensure a safe and, pardon the pun, a fruitful operation.
The next step is I make an appointment with them to come out and look at their fruit trees or whatever it is that they're growing, and to make sure that it's at the ripe stage, that we can get to the fruit, and how many people will fit underneath the canopy of the tree or peripherally around the canopy of the tree safely.
Word is then sent out to their volunteers.
And then we set up the harvest and come out, and then we do a little demonstration on how to pick and do a little bit of yoga to try to loosen things up so we don't get to, any body damage, and pick the fruit.
Last year they collected over 20,000 pounds of produce.
The time has come to set aside childish things. The time has come to reaffirm our enduring spirit, to choose our better history.
SoCal Harvest was created in January of 2009 in response to President Barack Obama's call to service during his first inauguration speech.
Starting today, we must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and begin again the work of remaking America.
A few months after its inception, its founder had to bow out for personal reasons, and Cindy was offered the opportunity to take over.
She said, "Do you want to take it over?" And I said, "No." And then I went, "Wait, yes." And then we sat down and we talked about it, and it sat for a little while on my shelf, and then I said, I really got to do something with that. And then it's become, for lack of better phrasing, my precious, my jewel, because I see how many people that we're feeding, I see how many people that we're reaching, and I see the response from the community for what we're doing, that we're filling a need and we're helping.
In 2012, their steering committee was formed, which includes two of its senior members, Allison Slay, director's assistant, and Nicole Heckman, in charge of volunteer outreach. And Cindy Goss, as director, is the engine driving this machine forward. Her passion toward this project is irrepressible.
Let's rock and roll on this tree.
Okay.
Yay, apples!
It should come as no surprise that Cindy is no stranger to a life of service.
Well, LA Works raised me. I started volunteering with them in 1993 when my daughter was 13 years old, and we got involved doing it was a school, and we did tree planting, mural painting, and then graffiti abatement. And it was one of the best experiences I've ever had with my daughter. And so then through her teen years, we did all of this stuff with LA Works, and we roofed houses, and we did all this Habitat for Humanity, just random things, helping to build. I practically lost my thumb at a build for Habitat for Humanity.
Meanwhile, her education in produce began at an early age.
I grew up with, I think, 4 a plum, an apricot, a lemon, and an avocado on my grandmother's property. And then on my mom's and my dad's home, we grew things. So we had zucchinis and raspberries, boysenberry bushes.
Eventually, those experiences would merge with her impulse to help those less fortunate.
It was natural to me to have this type of food, and I had so much frustration going to the grocery store and buying an apricot and not understanding why it didn't taste like an apricot. being spoiled from eating an apricot straight off of the tree and having it taste like summer, you know, and then you go to the store and it doesn't taste like anything, and you're, what's wrong with this picture? And it just seemed like, okay, wait, I can pick that fruit and people can enjoy the real flavor of what's meant to be.
And she sees no reason why that succulence can't be shared with the rest of the community.
As I got older, I started to not understand why people were so hungry. And it was that thing, you know, your mother was always saying, you know, there's starving kids in Ethiopia and that business. And you're programmed, you know, not to be wasteful as a child. And then you get older and you see fruit trees and you see all of it on the ground, or you see animals eating it, and you're thinking, wait, there's a starving homeless guy standing over here, and there's a really fat squirrel right here. There seems to be something wrong with this picture. You know, we don't need to feed the rats and the squirrels and the birds in our neighborhoods. We need to feed the people.
Like any fledgling, SoCal Harvest is suffering the pangs and contusions of growing pains. They need new equipment, and the upkeep on their ever-faithful truck, Lily, needs to be maintained. All of which was the reason for last year's garden party, their first fundraising venture since the inception of SoCal Harvest.
5 years we've almost been around, and we've existed on homeowner donations. The Josephine S. Gumbiner Foundation has given us a few $1,000s for a lot of the items on our wish list. And the person who founded SoCal Harvest has replaced the tires on the truck. And harvesters have given us, you know, harvesting pickers and tools and gloves. And there was a San Pedro organization that had they had done a 1-year process of fruit picking and done this backyard thing in San Pedro, and then they shut it down. So we got what was left of their equipment, but it's not enough.
In spite of the struggle to stay solvent, Cindy believes SoCal Harvest is in a position to expand.
We want to do the things that we started out to do, or that I envisioned 5 years ago, and it's time for us to make those moves toward, you know, being an actual organization that's doing more than just fruit picking. And the idea was to partner with all of these organizations that we are actually providing the fruit for. So say we're giving the Flossie Lewis Center for Women oranges every week. We want to be able to say, hey, Flossie Lewis, do you want to bring a few of your residents and a supervisor and come pick fruit with us and see how we do this? And empower the people that we're serving to serve someone else that's maybe lower on the rung than them. And we want to be able to show people, you know, first of all, this is how you pick it. And second of all, this is how you can it. And this is how you save it. And you can eat it in the winter. You know, you might not have persimmons in 6 months, so you can figure out how to make persimmon jam or persimmon preserves, and then you can have something to enjoy later when they're not in season. So we'd like to be able to start educating the community about when to pick their own fruit, how to share their own fruit, and then how to put it up for themselves or for others, as opposed to just, again, letting, you know, the squirrels have it.
Teach a man to fish, you feed him for the rest of his life.
Exactly, yes.